Great Britain has a collection of varied landscapes and countryside to rival anywhere else in the world.
And the best way to see it is to walk.
And we are here to provide some ideas and inspiration. We are the team at Walks Around Britain, and we've been discovering some of the most interesting and varied short walks, from the Highlands of Scotland to the Channel Islands. We've been there discovering the best walking Britain has to offer. If you thought walking was just about mountains, then think again. We've got walks in the countryside, along water and the coast, through woodlands and forests, up fells and hills, around historic buildings and our industrial past, and not forgetting walks through our towns and cities. Walks to do by yourself, in a group, or with your family, be they the human or canine kind. Along the way, we'll be telling fascinating stories about the landscape, its people, and its history. It's all designed to get you out and inspired to experience it for yourselves. Welcome to Walks Around Britain.
Hello, and you're very welcome to another edition of Walks Around Britain. Now, in today's programme, for our walks between 2 to 8 miles, we're journeying to Lincolnshire and to Perthshire.
We're in Kenmore for a walk to some impressive waterfalls later. But first it's to Lincoln and Hartsholme Country Park. It's a 3-mile walk which starts at the car park and travels around Hartsholme Lake and then down to the neighbouring Swanholme Lakes Local Nature Reserve before returning to the car park. It's a flat, easy walk, so allow around an hour and a quarter. So whilst I get the dogs out of the car, I'll let my co-presenter Olivia explain about Hartsholme Country Park.
Hartsholme Country Park is only 3 miles away from Lincoln city centre.
You off there, loose. There we go, careful.
So it's perfect for escaping from the city for an hour or so into the outdoors. In fact, the nearest bus stop is pretty much outside the main entrance.
Go on. Which one, Matt?
Hartsholme Country Park is built around a Victorian landscaped garden and a lake, and today features many family-friendly facilities, such as toilets, a fabulous play area, and a great cafe too. There's even a campsite here, perfect for visiting the attractions in Lincoln. And the visitor centre has a range of things to tempt little daughters, including a book on the history of the park and some duck food. So we're off. The park has a network of paths running all around it, so the walk you choose to do could be different to ours. But we're starting by walking past the lovely picnic area, to which dogs aren't allowed, much to Mac's dismay. From here, you get a sense that the building housing the visitor centre today might well have had a previous life.
I think there's a hall here.
And that's because this used to be the site of Hartsholme Hall, which was built in 1862 by Joseph Shuttleworth. It passed through several owners until eventually it was used as an officers' mess during the Second World War. The estate was sold in a dilapidated state to Lincoln Corporation in 1951, and the hall was then demolished. Our dogs are so nosy. Show them a gap and they have to look through it. Well, the boys do at least. Joseph Shuttleworth originally bought this land as it provided his rather grand house with a pretty lovely view across Hartsholme Lake. Its name, however, hides the fact it isn't a natural lake at all, but a reservoir made by the Lincoln Waterworks Company. The irony is, the lake is now very much a part of nature.
Many waterbirds have made their home at Hartsholme Lake.
Including several families. The walk now takes us around the north side of the lake, which runs alongside Skellingthorpe Road, on the other side of these trees. The third owner of the hall, Colonel Thomas W. Harding, re-erected this monument, which was originally built by the water company to commemorate the building of the reservoir. This is a perfect walk to do on warm days, thanks to the many areas of shade provided by the trees. Although some are quite happy to be out of the shade. Forming an important link across the lake is the famous White Bridge. This one was installed in 2014 and replaced the previous version built in 1962 on the pylons of the earlier 1902 bridge. The view from the middle of the bridge is stunning. That family sure gets around. Right after the bridge, and we're walking alongside the east side of the lake now. Doing the walk in the late afternoon opens up some amazing natural lighting effects. If you keep your eyes open, you might just see something astonishing. We're here in the spring, and we've been rewarded by the sight of these brightly coloured baby coots. To the south of Hartsholme Country Park is Swanholme Lakes Local Nature Reserve, a series of different habitat types, including dry heath, sphagnum bog and open water, all in an area covering 156 acres. It was formed through a series of flooded sand and gravel pits and was designated a Site of Special Scientific Interest in 1985. Dogs need to be on leads here to protect the many species which can be found. On the way back to the car park now, and there's still some surprises around every corner. As well as heathland here, there are also open meadows. And I think we might just be in time for an ice cream at the cafe.
So walks don't have to be on hilly ground for them to be interesting and exciting. Well, after the break, we journeyed to Scotland for another walk in Perthshire. Welcome back. Now, our next walk is one that's very special to me because my daughters and my 4 dogs all go together with me for a walk in Perthshire.
So we're in Kenmore for this walk, which starts just outside the village, journeys to the impressive waterfalls above the small village of Acharn, and then back. It's a walk of around 3¼ miles and will take around 1¾ hours. We're staying at Taymouth Marina, at their dog-friendly Lochside cottage, on the side of the mighty Loch Tay. Coming out on the walk are all my 4 dogs, Maisie, Merlin, Mac and Misty, and all my daughters, Alannah and Olivia. This walk starts right from Lochside Cottage, but you can park on the road here. As we need to walk along the road, it's reassuring the speed limit for vehicles has been reduced for the safety of us walkers. So after around a mile, we reach the village of Acharn. And we turn left here for the clearly signposted path towards the Falls of Acharn. The walk starts to climb here, and I seem to have the advantage of Misty and Mac pulling me up the hill. We're just high enough now to see a bit of Loch Tay. The ascent is quite noticeable, but nothing 14-year-old Maisie can't handle. Drummond Hill, on the far side of Loch Tay, was believed to be Scotland's first managed forest, dating back to Sir Douglas Campbell planting it with oak, birch and Scots pine in the 17th century. The nearby peak of Mial Greia, some 3,284 feet high, is one of the current list of 282 Munros, the mountains in Scotland above 3,000 feet, named after the man who produced the first such list, Sir Hugh Munro. Around 3/4 of the way up, an intriguing sign prompts a detour to the left into Hermit's Cave. The cave was built in the 1760s and it's said visitors to it have included Robert Burns and William Wordsworth. This is a dark, daunting place, which children will love, and when you're out onto the other side, there's a tremendous view of the lower falls, which fall over 20 metres in a single drop. Out of the cave and left takes us higher to the upper falls. At this sign you can continue to the right to cross over a stone bridge, but we're taking this path to the viewing platform for the upper falls. This drops fairly steeply through the wood before we're on the wooden viewing walkways which are suspended over the burn. The darkness of this wooded area makes the sight and sound of these falls even more impressive. Take a bit of care on these walkways, as they can get wet after particularly heavy rainfall. We're out onto the other side of the falls now, and it's a left to start the drop back down to Acharn.
Come out! Come here, this way. What's this?
Old girl Maisie is really enjoying this walk. Way down, and you can see across to the viewing platform at the cave. And on the right, there's fine views out to the village of Kenmore. There's a pretty steep section here, which needs a bit of care as it's littered with some loose stones. Olivia's walking pole is coming in handy here. At the bottom, the burn is accessible, so we can't resist letting the dogs off in this heat to have a splash around. path joins up with the road we came along. So we're retracing our steps back to Lochside Cottage for a relax at the side of Loch Tay.
Putting that walk together was a bit bittersweet really, because it was the last walk that we did with Maisie. A month later we had to put her to sleep, and looking back over the time that we had together on that walk really makes me remember all the special times that we had whilst going for walks all around the country. So if you'd like to do that walk or any other walk we've done in our series, you can visit our website for the information, walksaroundbritain.co.uk. And if you've got any videos or photographs of your walks that you'd like to share with us, you can do that on social media. The addresses are on the screen now. Until next time, thanks for watching and happy walking.